53 games into the season, Luke, this club's a playoff team. What happened to see, to quote Brian, a semi going off a cliff? What happened between, say, February 4th in Ottawa to where the club ended up at the end of the year, do you think?
Good question. Yeah, I mean, obviously we wish we had a better answer for that when we could have fixed it. Every player in that room was frustrated, still frustrated, the way things ended up, and you know, our slide and kind of derailing off the tracks there for the last little bit. It was, you know, real frustrating, and every game going into, you thought you had a chance to kind of go in and get the win and get back on track, and just wasn't able to do so. And you know, like all the fans are saying, like media saying, everyone, no one's kind of ever seen anything like that, and players in the dressing room the same thing. It's hard to kind of comprehend what's going on and think about it, but it's extremely frustrating just because we were sitting in such a nice spot after the All-Star break.
I think it's ironic, in the 4 years that you've been with this club, this seemed to be the best opportunity to get to that next level.
Yeah, I mean, you know, every year it's frustrating when you don't get the playoffs and you're watching the postseason and seeing teams that, you know, that you played against all year, and you know, you had some success against them, and you see them having good playoff runs and not being there. It's extremely frustrating. But this is, you know, real disappointing, obviously, just because we have a lot of good guys in that room and a good core group of guys, and played well for a good portion of the year, and just to kind of go downhill like that and let it all slide and go away, it's pretty frustrating.
You play a position that's under the magnifying glass, not only in this city, anywhere in the National Hockey League. How do you look back on your season where you were just under combined hits and block shots under 400? I mean, that's top, so near the top all around in the National Hockey League. Yet you look at other times where you know you wish you'd played better and gone better, but it's not always going to be that way over the course of 82 games.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, at times, obviously, it was personally, went through a little bit of tough times here and there, and you know, obviously you want to be that rock back there and be solid and be that physical presence every night. But you know, sometimes you go through ups and downs in the season, and especially in your career. And you know, a lot like the team, I guess. At times there was some great times, and other times, you know, you wish you could go back and change, obviously. But as far as the hits and block shots, something that I guess you take a lot of pride in, being a defensive defenseman, and I guess the little stats that go unnoticed sometimes, you know, can end up making a difference every once in a while.
Do you have to remind yourself that you're only 22 years of age? I know it seems like you've been here forever, but you're just 22, and really, your career is just getting started.
Yeah, hopefully that's the case. I mean, you know, obviously it's 4 years has flown by here. It's been awesome. I've been given a great opportunity here in Toronto, and the organization, the fans, and the city have been awesome to me, and you know, I've loved every bit of it. But in saying that, it's, you know, you want to be a part of it to have success in Toronto, and take that next step, obviously, as a team, and you know, obviously personally too. So to answer your question, I guess to remind yourself that you're 22. I mean, you know, I guess they count young guys as, you know, guys just break into the league now. I guess some guys break at different ages, but I've been around now for a few years, and you know, feel like don't feel, I guess, like that young guy anymore.
No, you've I guess you and Nick Kuhlman are the senior guys on this hockey club. That puts into perspective just how young a group this is. Do you look around that room and realize it's a young hockey club?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you know, I think, you know, I don't know the exact numbers, but I think it's one of the youngest in the league. So
second youngest.
There you go. Yeah. So, you know, there's obviously a good core group of young guys, and you look at how well the Marlies are doing, and some good young guys here who are obviously trying to prove themselves and find their way in the NHL and help this organization. I think, you know, it's a bright future, and I know it's, you know, fans don't want to keep hearing that about the future, but I think realistically, you know, there will be some bright spots coming up, and like I said, a good core group of guys, and you know, hopefully part of that in the future.
How difficult was the business side of the sport last summer, going into the off-season, RFA, but without a contract, and you've got expectations, the club has expectations, and then moving on into the season and putting the numbers aside and just concentrating on hockey? Is it hard to separate both sides of that, do you think, sometimes?
You know what? It was a situation, I think, that it wasn't too stressful or anything like that because you know, at the end of the day, I knew I was going to be here in Toronto the following year, or I thought I was at least, and I think the management was the same thing. So it was just, you know, like anything, it's the business side of the sport, and obviously, you know, it gets a little public attention here and there, but personally it wasn't, you know, anything out of the ordinary. Every player has to go through it, and it was the same way with my entry-level contract too. I think I signed like a day before the regular season, my entry-level contract. Like I didn't have a contract in the preseason or nothing like that. So I dealt with it before, and obviously you just get a little more attention when you're the only guy kind of not signed.
You're going to be playing your 5th season in the National Hockey League. You go into the off-season. What do you do to get better and to move up from what you've accomplished the first 4 years here?
Well, I mean, that's something I guess you'll have to think about and kind of obviously reflect on the season and kind of, I guess, think of new things that you want to work on, improve on. And, you know, it's obviously a long off-season, so you got to use it to your advantage and you know, come back physically stronger and obviously I think mentally too. You got to come back at a different mental place, and I think where guys are right now, everyone will come back refocused and refreshed, and with that positive energy and attitude. It's past month and a half has been tough on the guys a little bit, and everyone I think is a little bit you know, maybe drained right now, just kind of the way things have gone. So everyone will come back you know, mentally refreshed and use this offseason to everyone's advantage, and knowing that this is unacceptable what's happened, and come back stronger.
And know damn well that you've been through as tough as it's going to get. You can handle this. You're ready to move on and make that next step, I think.
Yeah, hopefully that's the case. I mean, it really doesn't feel like it can get any worse from here. I mean, it feels like you know, we've kind of hit rock bottom, and the only place is to go up from here. So hopefully that's the case, and hopefully we get back on track here right at the start of the next season and end this drought.